Welcome back to Reframe Reactions. I got another video for you guys today. We are covering O'Shea Duke Jackson video about Brittany Renner. Now, he's done videos about Brittany Renner before I've seen, but this one seems a little bit different. So let's just get right into it.
A human roller coaster, guys, it has to be Brittany Renner. I've never seen somebody have so many ups and downs on social media, almost all at the same time. Like, we know about her and all of the athletes like Colin Kaepernick and all the rappers, then getting pregnant by a young PJ Washington at the time, and then feeling very remorseful about her cheek clapping decisions.
How I allowed myself to just be like used up by men. And that came from a lack of self-worth. I did not understand my value that I was born with. I didn't.
I remember this was like...
The one thing that I've always been able to say about Brittany Renner and a lot of women who act like her, there is a level of self-awareness that cannot be debated. She is very self-aware. She knows what she's doing at all times. Like, the thing about it is not always if she knows what she's doing, but whether or not she can control herself, I think. But let's just keep going.
2024 on the Shade Room, when she said this, she felt very used, like men just used her for the cheeks. But she did not understand her value at that time. So then it was time to make a change. And that change came in early 2025.
First of all, Allahu Akbar.
Now, while all of this was happening, she would somehow get married to Kevin Gates in a bootleg relationship that lasted all of about 2 months.
My thing about it is this. I can relate to Brittany Renner in the way where there was a lot about myself that I realized I need to change, but I didn't necessarily know how to stop the patterns at the time in my life. And I didn't know how to just be the woman I wanted to be without receiving some kind of help, especially some kind of help from a man. So what that made me do was go to the Israelite culture because I felt like I needed something to like completely cleanse me, to make me into like this new person. I was really trying to forget the things that I used to do and the way that I used to be instead of forgiving myself and instead of accepting the things that the decisions that I made. I was trying to pretend like I never made them and like cleanse myself through religion. And so I think that that's also what Brittany Renner was trying to do when she became Muslim, because I think she just wanted a clean slate. She just wanted to be the better version of herself, but she didn't know that that takes a level of accountability in the way where you have to change your patterns. You can't rely on God or your religion or any man in your life to make you a better woman. You have to choose to be a better woman. So that's probably why that didn't last. That didn't last too long, but let's keep going.
Kevin Gates was technically still married to Dreka Gates, but that did not seem to bother Brittany Renner. As long as she was in love and living in the truth of Islam, it was all right. And I can remember all of the nasty comments that she was receiving, that she was a 304, she would never pan out in Islam, she was just faking it to make it. And you know what? I took her side. I felt that, hey, listen, she actually kept up this whole grift for like 7 months, wearing all this Islamic garb. I thought she could do it. But
boy, y'all sit your stupid ass down. Who the f you think you is?
Yeah, I was wrong, man. I must admit, there was Brittany Renner out of Islam and without a man, largely back into the streets.
Damn.
But guys, love has a way of bringing hope back to life. Now, Brittany Renner was not able to get the kind of guy she's typically used to, like the Colin Kaepernicks or the PJ Washingtons or the Kevin Gates. Nope, Brittany Renner decided that she did not want to date anybody famous this time. She wanted to give a guy a chance.
Like, you gotta drive. If we're on these winding roads, we gotta focus on just driving in the moment.
Now, this guy's name was Director 17X or X17. I'm not sure, but he is a alleged producer, content creator, and nobody had ever heard of him until this.
As a woman who did not know how to set boundaries for myself and allowed myself to date certain kind of people who absolutely did not even like me, I couldn't tell it back then, but now I know the look of a man who doesn't like you. That man do not like Brittany Renner. I could just tell by the way he moving on camera, by the way his mannerisms are. I ain't even seen no long video of him. This is my first time seeing him, actually. I can tell you right now, he do not even care about that woman at all. I can tell. Oh my gosh. And the fact that she couldn't tell means that she wasn't trying to tell. She turned off her radar on purpose, maybe because she didn't want to be lonely, maybe because she really just wanted love. But either way, every type of, whenever you do that, that's coming from a place of not being healed yourself. And it comes from also a place of desperation, because you don't need anybody, especially if they don't really even like you. You don't have to accept them. You're not desperate, but if you don't realize that that's what your patterns are proving in your reality, then you're going to just keep repeating the pattern. Whether it's a rich guy or a poor guy, it really don't matter.
Day. And you know what he reminds me of? If you guys are from the 90s, don't he remind you of the point guard Robert Pack?
Got him!
Yeah, it's like this is his real father or something. I'm not sure. Press 1 in the comments if you think that he looks just like Robert Pack, and also subscribe and hit the bell if you're enjoying the content. Fast forward! So guys, here's what happened with this particular guy. He started to basically step in and be a stepfather figure to Brittany Renner's son. Now, at the same time, he was helping Brittany Renner run this particular podcast, and it's no longer up, guys. And the name of the podcast actually was called Facets of Life with Brittany Renner. And the podcast included him and her. He was largely behind the scenes producing it, and it was supposed to be a Patreon only podcast, but really didn't get that many views. I don't know why. But anyways, largely they were in love and appearing in places together. He would even make comments like this: "Put it on record that I love this woman. Educated, motivated, beautiful, a great mom, and soon to be a great wife, a real one this time." Aww. And things were going really good. So good that Brittany Renner, who joined Islam and then left Islam, started doing this.
God, please guide our voices. Let nothing that we've been through be in vain, and that whoever needs to hear whatever needs to be shared through us, through the wisdom that you've gifted us, please use us, speak through us, and may our voices.
So within a year, Brittany Renner went from not being appreciated to joining Islam to getting married in a shotgun style wedding, then getting divorced, then meeting some Instagram follower, then getting into a relationship with this guy, and then all of a sudden she became a Christian again, praying before a podcast. Pretty cool, right?
He's right, you know.
So this relationship would end happily ever after, right? Well, guys, not so much, because Brittany Renner is back in these streets, guys. So she came back with this post called "I Heard Y'all Miss Me." There she is in some tight little, I don't know if it's cheetah skin, tiger skin. The clappers are out there and they are bouncing. And not only that, she's been posting some provocative pictures on her page. And guess who is not there? Director X. Yeah, I don't see this dude anywhere. I see her with her son. I see her with everybody else. I see her with her friends. And she is definitely back single momming it up. By the way, her son is named Golden, okay? But let's see what the ladies are saying about her pictures, shall we? This is one of her posts. Again, booty clapping it up. She's putting some gas in a car. I like those boots though. And it says, now back it up and dump it. And look at what her friends are saying. Not the hair match the boots. What the
Look at these comments. This is the thing. The one thing that I know, and I said this in my other video, but miserable women create other miserable women. And I'm not trying to say like these women in her comments are necessarily miserable, but what I mean when I say that is when women choose not to heal, they encourage each other in this type of bad behavior. You can post whatever you want to post. I don't encourage women to post exposing pictures of their bodies, provocative pictures. But if that's what you want to do, you can trust and believe there are going to be women in the comments encouraging you to be single, to expose yourself because they are also single. They also expose themselves. But the thing about why I don't think that this is good for Brittany Renner is because she don't seem like the kind of woman who really want to be doing that. She just knows that that might give her the validation and attention that she desires truly, but what she really needs to do is give that to herself. Like she's always seeking outside validation and attention, but what she's lacking is self-love. And she get into these relationships with these guys who don't really like her. I think they just be liking her body. I think that this is something that a lot of very beautiful women who, I'm not saying that I'm not very beautiful, but I don't necessarily deal with it on this level. But women who look like Brittany Renner, who have went through traumatic things in their life, like I think that they deal with this kind of thing a lot. You don't really know when a man really like you until you heal yourself because you don't have boundaries, you don't have self-control, you don't have intuitive awareness because you've focused on other things and not acknowledge the fact that you need to heal. You need to be by yourself for a little bit. You need to probably be celibate, abstain from sex, and all kind of stuff like that. That requires deep introspective work, and it can be difficult if you are addicted to getting attention, receiving validation. If when you're not being paid attention to, it makes you depressed, you don't know your own value, and this is what leads you back into them saying this is what leads a woman like that back into those same cycles, like we see Brittany Renner be in. Like she be in these same kind of cycles over and over again, and she might wake up again in like a few months or a year and realize, no, I don't want to be this way, because she really don't want to be that way. She really want to be a wife and be protected and led by a man, but because she has not healed, she don't know how to let that just happen. So look, it's a process. I believe that I'm in that process now. Like I just have separated myself in the way where I know I need to be by myself in a way. Like I have no desire to really try to be with a man right now because I need to learn how to be by myself. I need to learn how to be okay with being alone. I'm not saying that being alone is what I'm supposed to be for the rest of my life, but I definitely need to know how to give myself the things that I desire to get from other people. And once you reach a level of being very balanced within doing that, which I feel so close, I feel like, the love of my life right around the corner because I feel so close to that. It's so easy being by myself. I don't need anyone. I am able to refrain from anything. Nothing controls me anymore. I cannot do anything. This body no longer controls me. I control it. And once you get to that point, I think everything begins to open up in your life, everything that you truly desire. You cannot run to religion, you cannot run to a man, you cannot run to the streets and find these kind of answers. You have to run to yourself. All of it is within. So Brittany Renner's still learning. Like I think me and her the same age. But with all of that attention and just being such a beautiful woman, I think it take a little bit longer maybe for the lesson to be learned because she probably don't get the kind of quiet time that I do. Men are not beating down my door. I don't need validation or attention. I've never been that kind of person. I just always wanted love. But really, when you get down to the core of it, women who are like that, that's all they really want too. But they have to realize that that's what they want so they can begin to give it to themselves. But yeah, I digress, you guys. Let's keep going.
Far. Patty, you're such a mature, funny, and beautiful lady, Brittany. The most. Love this for you. And then you have this guy, Calhoun Darius. You still got what they want.
Boy, you don't sit your stupid ass down. Who the you think you is?
Now, as I'm looking at this and looking at the friends that Brittany Renner is hanging out with, I'm noticing something. They're all congratulating her for doing nothing. Like, I'm not necessarily criticizing her for not being able to keep a man because the problem is bigger than that. Like, Brittany Renner fundamentally, institutionally, is a broken woman. I mean, she's very beautiful. I'm pretty sure she means well, but she's just too much for any person to deal with. Like, she can't deal with herself. And when a person has the kind of problems and the instability that Brittany Renner is as a broken lady, you'll just hear other women just saying stuff like, I love this for you. Yes, this is great. Oh my God, you're killing it. And this is probably what somebody like Brittany Renner wants to hear right now. Because, yeah, these are encouraging words because nobody wants to be told like, hey, your life is a complete mess, you're in shambles. And we all want to believe, men and women, that we got it all figured out. But unfortunately, most of the time, we don't have it figured out. And this is not just women or men. We just don't. And a lot of times we have problems, unresolved problems that we need help with, and we've never gotten over it. Like, for example, Brittany Renner's parents were not there. I think her dad wasn't there. The mom has problems. The grandparents were racist. So basically her infrastructure is just terrible. And any man who will try to come in and deal with her in her life will have a hard time. And not even only that, who she attracts to her life is going to be somebody that's typically predatory. Because I believe that if Brittany Renner loves a man or really likes a man, I really don't think that she's choosing men because they have a lot of money or because they do have the bag. I don't really think that. I think that with the PJ Washington thing, it's more or less that it's just she's just scorned and upset about how he's doing now without her. But I largely don't believe that she's picking guys because she's looking for money. I think that she's really looking for somebody to accept her. She's looking for something bigger than herself. And that's the reason why she ended up going to Islam. That's the reason why she wanted Kevin Gates, although she always wanted Kevin Gates. And she went to this man, Director X17, because she's looking for leadership. But unfortunately, when you're a broken woman, you don't get leadership. You get everything but that. You get somebody who wants to scam you. You get somebody who wants to prostitute you. You get
Wait a minute. O'Shea is hitting on something very vital right now. So when I was in my deepest, darkest days and I was clinging to the Israelite culture, I was feeling like, I needed a man to save me. And so the kind of man that I was attracted to in that time was a complete narcissist. He was very controlling. He stopped me from being able to talk to my family. He separated me from everyone. I was completely isolated. I was not the perfect woman. So don't let me paint the picture that he was the complete villain, okay? Because I attracted him to my life, and I not only attracted him, because sometimes you can attract things to your life, but it doesn't mean you have to entertain them or be with them or deal with them. That's your choice. So I made the choice to invite him into my life because I did not love myself properly. And because I did not love myself properly, I did not realize how much I was being abused by him. But also at the same time, I did not realize the kind of woman that I was to attract a man like that. Once I woke up and saw, look at how you are as a woman. What kind of man you desire? Such a special kind of man. What kind of man want to deal with your emotional outbursts? What kind of man want to deal with you still being triggered by things that happened to you when you was a child and emotionally, physically triggered? Like, how is a man supposed to navigate that with you? And it wasn't his fault. Like, why you're expecting so much out of other people, but what are you expecting out of yourself? These are questions I had to ask myself because I never wanted to be with a person like that again. When I say I had to sit down and really think what brought me to that low point in my life where I accepted somebody like that into my life. And so after really looking at it and really evaluating, it wasn't him that was the problem. It was me. And once I noticed the patterns that I was having, the lack of just awareness of myself, my emotions, my triggers, my past trauma. Once I began to see myself for who I really was, I was able to be able to make the changes that I wanted to make within myself. It did not happen overnight. And it it took years. But regardless, I still was able to better myself and no longer put myself in an unsafe situation like that again with another man who could be predatory against me and feed off of the fact that I was not healed. Because that's what predators do. That's what narcissists do. That's what abusers do. They look for people who they can control, who they can manipulate, who they can abuse. And they want it to be an easy target. You know, not necessarily that I didn't put up a fight because I began to realize so many things towards the end. But the fact is that I rolled over and showed my belly. Okay. Just like a lot of women do who don't realize that you want to put so much blame off on the man for being the way that he is, but you don't want to take accountability that you accepted. What kind of woman are you to accept that into your life? That when you start asking that question, I think that's when some real change will happen. I think some real change will happen then.
Somebody who wants to use you. Because a lot of times, a successful man can really like you, but if you're as broken as Brittany Renner and you really can't control your emotions, you're just too much of a risk for somebody to, have you in their life. And I probably think that she's a really good person. Talked to Kevin Samuels when he met Brittany Renner. And to be honest, he had nothing but good things to say about her. She didn't charge him any money to be on this platform. Like, she was really, really cool and down to earth. But that's Brittany Renner on a good day. I think the problem with her and other ladies who have been through some traumatic situations is dealing with them on their terrible days, like when they just break down. Like, I had a female that I was dating, and she would just start crying out of the blue. Like, press one if you're a dude and you've heard this before, you had this happen, and you're just sitting there and you're talking. And it just like, she just starts crying out of nowhere. She just felt so bad, problems with the mom, and can't express it. And just like almost crying so much, she just starts shivering. And it was sporadic, and it was a lot to deal with. And one of the reasons why it's a lot to deal with as a man is because as a brother, it just puts you in a situation where it drains a lot of you into that person. And that person largely just needs help. But if you put that energy into them, it changes how you are every day. It changes how how you are on the job. It affects a lot of stuff about you.
And when he said that, now that made me think about something else that I can possibly be accountable for. Maybe, especially because I like to say when I met this guy, he changed, but maybe my behavior And the way that I was acting due to not being healed made him turn into the worst part of himself because I was the worst version of myself. Because relationships are typically mirrors. So what if that's what really happened? And if that's the case, that's see that just proves and gives me a little bit more to learn about myself. Like, especially as a woman dealing with a man, men do not know how to process what we go through. They don't even go through things the same way that we go through things, even if the same thing happened to the man. Like, I don't even think the world even acknowledges it the same kind of way. So they just don't go through it the same kind of way. So when we have those emotional outbursts, that can really weigh very heavy on a man. Like, especially if he love you, if he say he love you, he really may mean that. But after so many times of you acting irrationally, erratically, I bet, yeah, the man's mental probably really gets broken down. He probably doesn't know what to say, doesn't know how to respond, and doesn't want to participate anymore. And if he does participate, so much like that type of energy begins to be reciprocal. And maybe he begins to give you a little bit back of what you've been giving him. And then that can look like, oh, now he's a narcissist, or now he's abusing me, or this and that. When really, oh goodness, it could have been you all along. Okay, y'all.
And a lot of men just can't do that and just fix a woman up like that. So then a lot of good men just kind of get ran off. And then here comes these guys like Director X17. I don't know how successful he is, but obviously it seemed like he was trying to get some level of clout off her. Maybe he was, maybe he wasn't. And that's largely why DJ Academic said this.
You letting me in with your son, you know, and being able to be a stepfather, someone to.
This is acting. Holy. Yo, chat. Anytime, just read body language, man. Yo, this is using the conquer a single mother thing. The way to a single mother's is by telling her you ready to be a stepfather. It's a Russell Wilson tactic.
Oh my God. I ain't never heard of that, because that is not the way to my heart. You bring my son up and I ain't built no good relationship with you, that's gonna about piss me off. Don't bring my son up. Oh, you want to be a stepfather to him? You don't even know my son. Yeah, that about piss me off. So I don't know what kind of formula that is and why that would work on a woman. Because how can you even believe that a man care about you and your child? He don't even know y'all. Y'all just met. Y'all just started dating some months ago. You gotta know that. Matter of fact, if a man start talking like that and he ain't really proved himself in your life for real, and you know what I'm talking about by proved himself, don't play with me. Just turn off the I don't know what it is that got you blind. But a man saying something like that, he didn't even look genuine when he said that. Like, please, boy, get up out my face. That's exactly what I would say. Boy, I will block the hell out of man doing. I just really want to be a stepfather to your son. You don't even know me. What you talking about? You want to be a stepfather to him? You don't even know him. You done lost your mind.
I mean, that's largely what it looks like. He's just trying to use her. And again, I'm not trying to roast her. I actually feel sorry for her. And this is what I want to tell, like, men or women. Largely, if you're making a lot of traumatic decisions in your life, you got to get the professional help that you need. And you got to stop thinking that you can solve your own problems. Religion can't solve the problems. Getting a wife or a husband can't solve those problems. You got to somehow get professional help. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy O'Shea Jackson back at it again.
All right, that's the video, y'all. Shout out to O'Shea Jackson for such a great review. He pointed out some very important things that I don't really get a chance to talk about, because it's not very often that a man realizes these things within a woman or he speaks about them. But a lot of the time when women go through these kind of cycles where they make these kind of bad decisions, or they seek out religion the way that they do, or date the kind of men that they do, it's because of the traumatic things that they've been through. It's because that there are things that they still need to heal within themselves. When I was in the same position, when I was like that, I had to step back from everything. I had to stop dating. I had to stop having sex. I had to stop doing certain things so that I can become more aware of what triggered me, why it triggered me, and how to get over these things. So when you go into the next relationship, you are the most healthiest version of yourself. And when you do that, you can be more confident that you are putting forth the boundaries and you are putting forth the version of yourself that is a reflection of the love that you desire to receive. And if it's not, you're able to quickly move out of those situations and not spiral back downward, but continue to go up. Like I feel like every time I've just been going up. I haven't spiraled back down to that depression, that anxiety. I don't feel any of that anymore. I'm not attached to my trauma anymore. I don't trauma bond with people. I don't need to have anyone save me from anything. And I think that that's the biggest thing. Like a lot of women seem to be waiting to be saved, and no one's coming to save you. You have to at least think that. I don't know, maybe 1 in a million chance some guy somewhere could have the patience enough to deal with you until you are fully healed. And very lucky to you, but that may not be your circumstance. So you have to do the hard work to heal, and you have to do what's necessary. And you have to do it because maybe you have a child and they need you to be your healthiest version. Or maybe you don't want to keep living the same patterns over and over again. So you need yourself to be your best version. Whatever the case may be, I'm wishing you the best on your journey because it's not easy. I'm not saying that it is, but it is necessary. Okay. Thank y'all for checking out this video. Shout out to O'Shea Duke Jackson. Thank you for the great video. And if you like my channel, make sure that you subscribe. I appreciate it so much. And share this video if you think this is a good topic for people to be talking about right now. And I'll catch you all in the next one.